Hello friends and welcome back to Health, Music and Fitness channel. This is a small video, a teaser which I am making on the book which I have written on electrocardiography, ECG Made Easy. And this book is basically for the medical students, a beginner who does not know the basics of the ECG, and I'll be teaching everything in a very simple and easy way, how to go about making sense of it all. To a medical student, ECG looks very confusing, and it looks like a very daunting task to the student when they begin with. And most of the books, they are written in a very complicated way, and the students lose interest. So I have made these few videos, a series of videos in which I will be touching all the important topics in the ECG, like the rate, the rhythm, the axis, the various morphologies of various complexes, P waves, QRS, STT, and I'll be talking about them in detail. And in the first video I'll be talking in brief so that the student doesn't lose interest, and later on in the later ECGs I'll be talking about complex ECG rhythms and how we manage them medically and electrophysiologically and things like that. And like in this slide, this is going to be the second page of the book, and I always believe the teacher is always inside us, and once we develop the craving to learn, the teacher will appear, and the wisdom is all around us, and once we open our eyes, the teacher is everywhere. So like they say, God, Guru and the seeker are all one, and they are all inside us. We don't have to go anywhere to find the teacher. The teacher will appear once we are ready. This will be the chapter 1, and ECG is a very interesting topic, and it tells a lot about not only just the rhythms of the heart, it also tells a lot about various organs. And I cannot go in detail about all the things that we can diagnose in the ECG, but nevertheless it is very important that we should know ECG in detail, because right from head to toe there are so many disorders which the abnormalities of which are reflected in the ECG. Take for example intracranial bleed or raised ICD. You will see ECG changes, and many of these patients, they will come with bradycardia and prominent T waves. Take for example respiratory diseases, and they will have P pulmonale and many other things to suggest that the right heart has been compromised. They may have electrical alterance, and they may have right ventricular hypertrophy, or RVH with strain pattern, or right bundle branch blocks. Take for example hypertension, and you will see so many changes in the ECG. There is a voltage criteria which comprises of 7 or 8 criteria, and to diagnose left ventricular hypertrophy. And it's not that ECG is the final authority. Like, let's take for example the voltage criteria. So there are many criterias, and more the number of criterias, more the chance that the patient will be having a left ventricular hypertrophy, and less the number of criterias, less the chance that the patient will be having left ventricular hypertrophy. And these criterias are more effectively positive in a thin built young male. So coming to the clinical uses of ECG, which I'll be discussing in the next video. This is just a teaser video, and there are so many things you can pick up in the ECG. So you can come to know about the rate, the rhythm, the axis of the heart, and the various diseases which a person could be having, the cardiac diseases and the non-cardiac diseases. There are many electrolyte abnormalities which you will pick up on the ECG: hyperkalemia, hypocalcemia, hypercalcemia, and things like that. And there are various drugs which the patient might be on or you might be planning to give, and the effects of those drugs can be seen in the ECG. Let's take for example digoxin, and you will be giving this medicine to control the heart rate or the failure of the cardiac failure of the patient, and you can see the digitalis effect in the ECG, as well as you can see the digitalis toxicity effect in the ECG. So it's a very nice diagnostic tool if we know how to interpret the ECG and what to look for, and in which patient what to look for. And there are so many emergency conditions: cardiac valve, heart valve problems, myocardial diseases, diseases of the conducting system. So you can pick up various blocks: first degree AV blocks, second degree complete heart blocks, bundle branch blocks, and abnormal ventricular rhythm, VPCs, VTs, and wave, which are very fatal cardiac rhythms, Torsades de Pointes, and many such like electrical abnormalities. Then there are so many respiratory diseases, and you can pick up those. You can see a tall peaked P wave, which is also called as P pulmonale, and you can also see right ventricular hypertrophy with the strain pattern, or a simple right ventricular hypertrophy, or a right axis deviation, or you might see a subtle sign of right ventricular compromise in the form of electrical alterance, which many of us don't look at or don't look for, and it is a very important finding. So electrical alterance you should never forget. You will see different varying amplitudes of the R waves in the leads, and that will be a sign of myocardial compromise. The right ventricle is restrained, and you will see in bad COPDs, badly destroyed lung because of old tuberculosis or constrictive pericarditis or massive pericardial effusion. So there are so many diseases you are coming to see that we can pick up on ECG. Then there are very valve abnormalities, mitral stenosis. You can see a dilated left atrium. Then there are autoimmune diseases, SLE, and you can pick up findings of SLE and on the ECG. Then many infections and dengue fever, and basically these infections might cause myocarditis or valvulitis, papillitis, and they can cause bleeding inside the pericardium. It can cause hemopericardium, and so there are many diseases you can see which we can pick up. There are so many electrolyte abnormalities, and hyperkalemia, hypokalemia, hypercalcemia, and things like that. So many drugs which you might be giving, and sometimes it is a side effect of the drug with which we are treating. So in other words, we have to know about in and out of all the medicines which we are giving to the patient, because the effect of that might reflect in the ECG also, and ECG is a very good diagnostic tool. So this was just a teaser, and I look forward to making many more videos, and in the next videos I'll be talking on the rate rhythm axis and what a ECG is basically for a beginner, a medical student who does not know how to hold the ECG. And I'm very sure after 3 hours of watching these videos with me, you will be a very confident ECG interpreter, and you can give a very good challenge to a MD if you understand what I'll be teaching you. So with that note, I end this video, and thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and please do subscribe to Health, Music and Fitness channel and watch the videos. Leave your comments in the comment box, and if there are any queries, if you want me to cover any particular topic on electrocardiography, I'll be very happy to deal with those topics in the subsequent ECGs. Also, please hit the bell notification icon so that you can be reminded of the videos as and when we'll be uploading. Thank you. God bless.